Hello and welcome along to another edition of Life on Lockdown. I'm delighted that today my very special guest is Marion Adriaensen.
Hey,
Marion, it's so lovely to see you.
thank you. Very nice to see you too.
Very
Everything
good.
okay?
Everything's going really well. Lockdown London is what
Yeah.
we call it. How is life over there at the moment?
Well, not completely locked down. We can go out for some shopping and for some walking, and it's getting a bit better now. But it's a crazy time.
It is an extraordinary time at the moment. And where exactly are you? I know you're in the Netherlands. Whereabouts exactly are you?
In Arnhem, that's near the German border.
Okay.
That's
Good. So in terms of the restrictions they've got at the moment, what do they say? What are you allowed to do? What are you not allowed to do?
in my country.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we have to stay at home as much as possible, but from next week on, there are more things we can do. We can go to the hairdressers again. And
Celebration.
yeah, and well, more shops are going to open. And from June 1st, the small restaurants are opening again, especially the terraces. You can go sit on the terrace and again. And every time in steps, they will try to move on. But if it worsens, then we have to stop and then we go back to zero. So we hope everything is going all right, because
very good. And I always think every country can learn from what other people are doing.
Yeah.
And it is extraordinary the differences around the world, where New Zealand virtually haven't had any cases at all, and certain countries have been very lucky.
Yeah, it's strange, but and when we go to the public services, we have to need our how do you call
that? A mask.
Yeah, and otherwise we don't have to use them here in Holland. So.
And how are the restaurants going to work? Because I think that's a good thing we're wondering here. Is how are restaurants going to work?
Well, they have to see that all people are 1.5 meters from each other sitting.
Okay.
So if you have 100 tables, then you can only allow half or a third of the people inside your restaurant.
So it's 1.5 meters, is it?
1.5 meters in our country.
In the UK, we're being drilled every day saying it's 2 meters. And that must obviously be the conversion rate between sterling and the euro.
But other countries say 1 meter, calling 1 meter.
Okay.
1.5.
Okay, so it's a good compromise, a good negotiation.
Yeah.
Now, I think that's the extraordinary thing, is that people are trying to listen to the science, because nobody really knows. And that's the frustrating thing.
Yeah. It's a completely new virus, and everyone is just trying and thinking they are doing a good thing, but also the economy is going very bad now. It's not only the people who are getting very ill that's dramatic, but also the economy is very low now, and it will take maybe a few years because when it's going up again, and all those events, it's all. They have in Holland, it's until September. Then the smaller events can start up again, with about 100 people.
Okay.
But until there is a virus, there can't be any huge events.
Right. And when you say 100 people, is that a venue that will take 100 but allow 50 people in, or how will that work?
Yeah, 100 people, including all the people who work there. So that's not much. And they start in July with 30 people. That's totally
30 people. Okay.
So I think
that was one of the extraordinary things we were trying to do. We were trying to obviously work out these fantastic concerts, and we had several plans, and all of those got thrown out the window because of the interruption.
Yeah, I hope not completely thrown away, but you are postponing it.
Oh, no, absolutely. And what I love is that artists are being so creative with their time. So we're doing lots of online concerts, and I think you've seen a few of those.
And that's a good thing these days.
Yeah, and lots of them, you get down to their living room, and we get to see people's bookcases.
Yeah, if this would have happened many years ago, we wouldn't have been able to talk with each other by video call or whatever. And I see my grandchildren now the way I see you now.
Right.
Otherwise, yeah. But
Tell me about tell me about Marion Adriaensen then, and tell me about your early life. Where were you born?
I was born in Arnhem, where I live now, and I grew up in several villages around Arnhem. And when I got married, I moved back to Arnhem again and still live here.
Okay.
So, well, I was married in 1982, and then there are 2 kids who came, 2 daughters, and they are both on their own now, have both a child and a partner, and the 3rd one is coming in August, the 3rd grandchild. So that's also very exciting.
Well, at least there's a production that won't be delayed. That'll be good.
Yeah, that's going on now. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
But
fantastic. So, your early days. Do you remember the very first record you ever bought?
The very first record was even before the Bee Gees. That was Cliff Richard and the Shadows. My favorite. It was in the 50s, and I had an uncle who had a shop who we sold record players and TVs. In those days, we were people who had one of the first TVs in the country, because my uncle sold them in his shop. And also I had very early in age already a record player. And my very first record was The Young Ones by Cliff Richard. Yeah, that was
1962, I think, wasn't it? 1962?
Yeah, that's right. And
I remember that because the movie as well, so Cliff was fantastic.
Yeah. And then when the Bee Gees came back to England in the 67, then I heard for the first time about them. I was still very young, and I was too young to go to concerts, which is, I think a lot about it. They were in 68 for a concert in Holland, but I was too young to go there on my own, so I missed that. But I was from 67 on, I was fan, and I read all the articles in the magazines, the pop magazines, and started to buy the singles, the little 45 singles to put on my record player. And then it went on, and around 1970 I got a little bit in touch with the family. That was because Barry's wedding, and I got a letter from Linda, and that started a bit. And from that moment on, I started to inform all fans who were interested to talk about them, and to write down the latest news on my typewriter, not even electric one, with carbon paper for the copies of all the letters I wrote. And telephone was not in the building in our house. I had to go to a telephone booth down the road to phone everyone. And that was the very early start of my fan club life. So, but it was, and from that moment on, it was the love for the Bee Gees and the love of being connected with other people around the world. That combination, and that still is very important for me. That's so nice, because the music brings people together. And from 1917 on, I'm connected with everyone in the world, and talking about the Bee Gees and talking about how people live. And that's really.
And you're an absolute icon in terms of the whole history of the Bee Gees and getting all the fans together. How many fans do you now have under your wings?
Well, I'm not my fans, but the fans of the Bee Gees. Well, the members of the Facebook group, that's the only thing I can count, because you have to log in, and that's about 25,000. And the website, that's for everyone available. So I have no idea how many people visiting there, but people from all over the world. And I keep it a bit in English. Well, my English is not very well, but I wanted to make it an international one, so I can reach as many people as possible. So, and that started, well, when I started the fan club work in 1970, I first started here in Holland with a fan club with real written newsletters, which you have to send via post to all the people, first in Holland and then around the world. And later on, I worked for a fan club in America for a short while, and then I started my own website, and GSI started, and I was completely on my own. I could do everything I wanted to do with that club. And a few years ago, I also started a Facebook group, and that is very nice to have contact with so many people, and they all can support, and they can all write the things they want to do about the PGs.
And it is a wonderful community. I belong to that Facebook group as well, as does RJ, and we love the connection that you've made with the fans. It's great to have that bridge.
Yeah. And it's
tell me about. Sorry, Marion. Tell me about the first time where you were when you first heard a Bee Gees song.
Yeah, that was a radio at home. We had the old radio station Veronica, the ship on the North Sea. I don't know. They always had all the pop songs we listened to, and that was the first. The radio, the Dutch radio stations. That was the first time I recognized.
And how old were you, if you don't mind me asking?
1967. I feel. I'm from 54, so not yet 20. So
right.
Yeah.
So amazing. And what was the song you heard?
Pardon?
What was the first song you heard?
The first song I heard, the New York mining disaster. That's that kind of songs which were just released in '67, and World, and what other Jumbo, and all those first songs, Massachusetts, and yeah.
Fantastic. And the first concert that you went to, when was that?
That was in February 1973 at the Royal Festival Hall in London.
Okay.
That was the very first time I met the family, and the very first concert I saw. Okay. We went with a group of young people with a plane to London for 4 days, and we said, well, after the concert, we are not going to bed. We stay up all night, talk about it. That's what we did. But the problem was, we wanted to go to the concert, but it was sold out immediately. So we didn't have concert tickets. But we went to London, and the afternoon before the show, we were in the tube. And what happens to me often is when I'm going to a concert or to a nice event, and I'm thinking that everyone around me in the bus or in the train is going to that same event. Right. So we were sitting there, and there was a man with a huge cello in front of us, and I said, do you think he is from the Royal Festival Hall? Is he going to the Royal to the show tonight? That's what we think. And we asked him, are you going to Royal Festival? Yes, I have a concert tonight with the Bee Gees. And we asked him, can you try to get us in the hall? Oh yeah, you come with me. So we walked with that man in the hall. And we were sitting there, and we saw the whole sound check and rehearsal, and afterwards we had the guts to go down to the family and talk with them, and they were not even surprised. It was also that it's what the family is. It's so down to earth, and they loved it that we were there. They didn't even ask how the hell did you get in or whatever. It was, and that was right away the click. I like that people, not only the music, but the people also. That's very important. They are so down to earth. They are so kind with the fans. And so we talked with them a while, took a few pictures. But then the big problem came. The show was going to start at 8 o'clock, and we didn't have tickets. So Tom Kennedy, one of the people, he's dead now, I believe, but working for the Bee Gees, said, I give you a tip, stay in the hall, go to the toilets, and wait until tonight, and then try to go in the hall. That's what we did. We stayed for 3 hours in the ladies' toilets with a beautiful view in a little room. And later on, we find out that we were at the same level as where the artists were. We didn't even so we bumped almost into Lulu and Elton John and whatever. But around 8 o'clock, we said we have reached so far, we have to go into the hall itself. So we just marched in, and we saw a few seats which were empty, which were reserved for, I don't know who, we were going to sit there, and nothing else happened, and we saw the whole concert. And that was goosebumps all over. It was the first time with the huge orchestra, and it was amazing.
It must have been an incredible night, as you say. Not only your very first concert, but you got to meet the Bee Gees, their extended family. How did you feel at that moment?
Yeah, I said goosebumps. It was unbelievable, and the concert was very good. And what all happened that day, how we came there, it was like a miracle that we made it. And afterwards, we had a great night. We stayed up all night talking about that wonderful experience. So, and from then, it's all history. I learned to know the family, and I went to their houses and to the tours and concerts a lot until I got married and the children came. Then I said, well, I have to uh, low down a bit with the fan work. I kept in touch with the family and I kept in touch with a lot of fans, but not really fan club work at that time because my children, that was most important then. Now they are big, so now I'm very busy again with GSI and I love it. And it's still, it's always been in my life, the Bee Gees and the Gibb family, and I hope they will stay in my life for a long time.
Well, I'm sure they will. And what about your children? Are your children's Bee Gees fans as well?
They are of a lot of music, but they grew up, of course, with Bee Gees music, and they like a lot of songs, but they also like other music. But they appreciate it very much that I do this, and it's really great.
They're
But
fantastic. And what's really good as well is that the Bee Gees music spans so many generations. They
yeah,
always say that the Bee Gees music is basically the soundtrack to everybody's life.
yeah, everyone knows music of the Bee Gees. Sometimes they don't even realize that it is Bee Gees music. And if you tell them, do you know who wrote that? Bee Gees? Oh yeah, yeah, that's amazing. And also, what comes with the Bee Gees, all the children of the Gibbs also are into music again and trying to keep that music alive. And that's what I admire so much. And that's what for me is also very important. I have always so much loved the live concert, to be with the Bee Gees in during the tours and all that. And unfortunately, that is not possible anymore. Only Barry can now and then perform. But I want to have that feeling again of their music on stage live, and that's what brought me to the tribute part, and that's how I also met my Italian friends, and especially those I also very much in love with the music, and they perform 100% live, and I met them, and I also had a click with them, so that's very important for me too. So
And
that
you
there are
helped, I think it was your
people.
suggestion to bring them together with RJ.
Pardon?
It was one of your suggestions to bring them
Yeah,
together with
yeah,
RJ, the
yeah,
Italian Bee Gees.
yeah.
And
That's
what we formed as a result of your suggestion and your enthusiasm and your encouragement, we formed what we call Legacy, which is
yeah,
celebrating the music of the Bee Gees with RJ, combining the talents of the Italian Bee Gees as well. And we've planned a series of dates
yeah,
until this interesting virus got in the way. But we have some great plans,
yeah. But
lots of
keep
work.
those plans, huh?
Yeah,
Keep
great
them.
plans. They're definitely happening. It's not only plans. We already had some dates, and those have been moved, and we'll keep them keep everybody informed. And what I love is the direct relationship that we have had with you over the years, because you've been the messenger, if you like, the bridge, the fantastic bridge between the
Mm.
family and the fans, and I know that's greatly appreciated.
Yeah, it's a joy to do. That's the only thing I can say. They
I,
never
I,
ask me to do it, but I do it out of love, and I appreciate the music, appreciate the people. And also when last October, when I was in London with the concert of RJ with Italians, I had again goosebumps. It's so special to hear these people sing the music again. I feel really proud. Yeah, it's
Well,
very, very nice.
we were delighted to have you as our very special guest at the concert, and you brought some of the fans with you as well.
Pardon?
You brought some of the fans with you to the concert. They
Yeah,
came over
yeah,
to the
yeah,
concert
yeah.
that RJ gave with the Italian brothers.
Yes, that's right. Yeah,
Oh,
that's right.
fantastic. So in
That's
terms of your happiest memories to date, I know it's a tricky one because you've got so many, but in terms of your happiest memories of your life with the Bee Gees and the fans and so on and so forth, What would be one special moment that would stick out?
Well, what I just told about my very first concert with them and the very first time I met them. And also all those times we just came together, not only during concert, but just when they invited me to their homes and we were just talking about, not only about music, about just all kinds of everything. They were so down to earth and they give you such a lovely feeling, and knowing them that way is also very special for me. So, and also another very highlight was that was in 1975. We visited them at the Isle of Man, and that was right after they came back from Miami, where they had recorded Main Course. That was really the bridge to the new sound, and they had recorded that album. And one afternoon, they invited us to the music room, me and two friends of mine, and they asked us, listen to the new songs we recorded. I want to know what you think of it. And when we heard the whole Main Course album for the first time, it wasn't even released yet. So that was very special too. Also, the Main Course album is one of the best albums for me as well. So,
I know it's very difficult, but do you have maybe a top three tracks in the Bee Gees which are always your favorite?
That's very difficult because it depends on my mood. I always say Words. The song Words is very special to me, but there's so many songs. To Love Somebody, Lamplight. I don't know. It's really my mood. I love them all.
Yeah, and that's the great thing, is that the depth and breadth and the diversity of the catalogue, because it reflects your moods, just like human emotions. It's a roller coaster. And and that's what they say, it's the soundtrack of your life, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really amazing, yeah.
It's wonderful. Marion, it's always a pleasure to speak. I know you've got lots of photographs, lots of videos, which I'd love to go through. Maybe we can do that online with you at some stage as well. One of the things that we spoke about as well, and we're doing this with you, is a special chat where the fans through GSI will have a chance to ask RJ lots of questions.
Yeah, that's a very nice idea. Yes.
And we launched them within minutes of your announcing it on GSI. We've received lots and lots of people doing.
Did you already receive questions?
Yeah, we've received lots of questions. So what I'm going to do straight after this, I'm going to be having a discussion with RJ, and we're going to bring some of the fans in to ask those questions.
Okay, yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah, so that'd be a lovely thing. So anybody who would like to write a question, write to legacy@octopustv.com. That's legacy@octopustv.com. Don't forget to subscribe on the YouTube channel, on the Octopus TV channel. And we, together with GSI, will be bringing this exclusive content. So just for you, exclusively, thanks to Marion and all that sort of side. But for now, Marion, it's a real pleasure to see you. Keep safe, be well, and I look forward to seeing you next time.
See you. Thanks for the interview. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
There we go. That was the brilliant Marion Adriaensen, all the way from Holland, keeping very well, very safe, and doing a fantastic job at GSI. Join me, Andrew Eborn, next time for a little bit more of Life on Lockdown with the wonderful RJ Gibb. That's coming up very, very soon. Until then, be safe, be good, and I'll see you next time.